Good evening. We're now 12 days into a partial government shutdown, with millions of Americans feeling the effects. Federal workers furloughed, essential services stretched thin, and no end in sight. The House, Senate, and White House are locked in a political standoff, leaving the public frustrated and demanding action. Tonight, we'll move past the talking points to examine the real reasons for this impasse and what solutions, if any, are on the table. Joining me is Senator Jon Husted, a key figure in the negotiations, to discuss whether there's hope for a breakthrough. Senator, recent polling data reveals that over 70% of Americans are eager for this government shutdown to come to an end. The public sentiment is clear and overwhelming. They're exhausted from the endless blame game and are demanding that their government starts functioning effectively again. The frustration is palpable across the nation. Senator Husted, people are fed up, and rightfully so. They deserve a government that works for them, not against them. The blame game helps no one, least of all, the American people. It only serves to deepen divisions and prolong the crisis. Senator Husted, my focus, and that of a bipartisan group, is on finding a solution, not assigning blame. We are committed to bridging the gap and moving forward. Senator Husted, we're pushing for a clean, continuing resolution to reopen the government immediately. This is a necessary step to restore normalcy. Policy debates should not hold the government hostage. The functioning of our nation should never be compromised by political stalemates. Senator Husted, Congress's core duty is to fund the government. It is our responsibility to ensure that the government remains operational. Failing at that is a failure of leadership. It reflects poorly on our ability to govern and serve the people. Senator Husted, using shutdowns as leverage damages trust and is not sustainable. It erodes the public's confidence in our institutions. We're elected to solve problems, not create them. Our duty is to find solutions that benefit the nation as a whole. Senator Husted, let's pass a short-term funding bill, restore services, and then debate policy, with the government open. This is the path forward to ensure stability and progress. The main sticking point in the ongoing government funding debate is the future of a crucial Affordable Care Act provision. This provision, which has been a cornerstone of recent healthcare policy, is now at the center of a heated political standoff. The House of Representatives is pushing to defund subsidies that help low-income Americans afford health insurance. Meanwhile, the Senate stands firmly against this move, arguing that these subsidies are essential for millions of families. Why has this issue become the breaking point in negotiations, threatening to shut down the government and disrupt services nationwide? Senator Husted, the heart of the dispute is over cost-sharing reduction payments. These are federal funds that help lower-income families pay for out-of-pocket costs like deductibles and co-pays, making insurance more affordable and accessible. Senator Husted, the House argues that these payments represent government overreach and want to eliminate them, believing the private market should take over. The Senate, however, warns that cutting these payments would have dire consequences. Premiums could skyrocket, insurers might abandon the market, and countless families could lose their coverage overnight. Senator Husted, this is more than a budget dispute. It's a deep philosophical divide. One side believes in reducing government's role in healthcare, while the other sees a moral responsibility to ensure that healthcare remains affordable for all Americans. Senator Husted, for many, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about real people, families, children, and seniors who depend on these programs for their health and well-being. Senator Husted, until lawmakers can bridge this ideological gap, or at least set it aside long enough to fund the government, the nation remains at a standstill, with uncertainty looming over millions. Senator Husted, there are bipartisan ideas and real opportunities to improve our healthcare system, but as long as the threat of a government shutdown hangs over Congress, meaningful reform is out of reach. Senator Husted, reopening the government is just the first step. Only then can we come together, set aside partisan differences, and work toward real, lasting healthcare reform that benefits everyone. The president just proposed redirecting subsidy funds directly to consumers as vouchers or tax credits, bypassing insurance companies. Is this a breakthrough or a complication? Senator Husted, I appreciate the president engaging with new ideas. Empowering consumers is worth discussing and could attract bipartisan support. Senator Husted, but the details are complex. How would vouchers work? Who would benefit? And how quickly could this be implemented? Senator Husted. We can't overhaul healthcare financing overnight to end the shutdown. Senator Husted. The president's idea is a long-term debate, not an immediate solution. Senator Husted. Let's reopen the government first, then have a serious bipartisan healthcare summit to consider these proposals. Senator Husted. For now, we need a clean funding bill to end the shutdown. So, Senator, you support debating the president's idea later, but insist reopening the government must come first. Can this approach gain traction in the House? Senator Husted. Exactly. Let's debate healthcare reforms, but first, end the shutdown. Senator Husted. Holding government funding hostage has failed and only hurt the country. Senator Husted. The Senate doesn't have the votes for the House's bill. The House must choose, keep the shutdown going, or pass a clean funding bill that can actually become law. Senator Husted. I sense growing support for this reality in the House as pressure mounts from constituents and federal workers. Senator Husted. A strong bipartisan Senate vote for a clean resolution would pressure the House to act. Senator Husted. Reopening government isn't a concession, it's a prerequisite for governing. The filibuster requires 60 Senate votes to advance most bills. Critics say it causes gridlock. Is it time to end it? Senator Husted. I understand the frustration, but I defend the filibuster. It forces consensus and prevents wild policy swings every election. Senator Husted. Without it, each new majority could undo everything the last did, creating instability for families and businesses. Senator Husted. The filibuster is a guardrail, encouraging moderation and compromise. Senator Husted. In this shutdown, it's preventing a partisan House bill from becoming law and forcing negotiation. Senator Husted. It ensures major changes have broad support, not just a slim majority. Senator Husted. Ending it wouldn't end disagreements. It would make them more bitter and short-lived. Senator Husted. Building coalitions is hard, but it's the only way to govern for the whole country. Let's talk about the real-world impact. Federal workers are missing paychecks, services are disrupted, and families are struggling. What are you hearing from your state? Senator Husted. The human cost is devastating. I've spoken with air traffic controllers working without pay, veterans with frozen claims, and families terrified about their finances. Senator Husted. The ripple effects hit small businesses, research projects, and national parks. Senator Husted. SNAP benefits could be delayed, hurting the most vulnerable. Senator Husted. Every day the shutdown continues, the damage grows, public trust erodes, the economy suffers, and real people are hurt. Senator Husted. These aren't faceless bureaucrats, they're our neighbors and friends. Senator Husted. The pressure to end this is immense, and it should be. Senator Husted. Our job is to serve the people, and that means ending the shutdown now. We're almost out of time. The clock is ticking, and the stakes could not be higher. With every passing minute, the pressure mounts on lawmakers to find a solution before the deadline hits. Is there a reason for hope? Across the country, Americans are watching and waiting, anxious but optimistic that their leaders can come together in this critical moment. What's the path forward in the next 48 hours? The next 2 days will be decisive, as every move in Washington could determine the outcome for millions. Senator Husted. I am hopeful. Despite the challenges, I believe we can rise above partisanship and deliver results. A bipartisan group in the Senate has drafted a plan, an unusual show of unity in these divided times. Their proposal is to pass a clean 30-day funding bill. No policy riders, just stability. This would keep the government open and avoid a shutdown, giving Congress time to work out longer-term solutions. Senator Husted. Then, immediately launch formal negotiations on healthcare, a critical issue that affects every American family. And the budget, through a special bipartisan committee, would be addressed with urgency and cooperation, aiming for real progress rather than political posturing. Senator Husted, we're urging Senate leaders to bring this to a vote, to show the American people that we can act decisively when it matters most. And we believe we have the 60 votes needed. This level of support is rare, but it signals a genuine desire to move forward together. Senator Husted. A strong Senate vote would pressure the House to act, sending a clear message that the time for gridlock is over. It would also give members political cover to do the right thing, even if it means crossing party lines for the greater good. Senator Husted. This isn't about party victory, it's about responsible governance. We'll be watching closely, and so will the American people who expect nothing less from their elected officials. Senator John Husted, thank you for your time and candor. Your willingness to speak openly about these efforts is appreciated in this moment of uncertainty. Senator Husted, thank you, Anderson. I remain committed to working with colleagues on both sides to find a solution that serves the nation.